drummingforlife.com.
Hey there, it's Vaughn at drummingforlife.com. Aloha, hope you're doing well. So today I want to share with you how you can make your left foot hi-hat more musical, all right? Before I get into that, I want to mention that I'm going to be using brushes today, and I have a really good jazz brushes course at jazzdrumschool.com. It's called the Brushes Mastery Course, and if you're interested in really kind of taking your brush playing to another level and really being able to use brushes in real musical situations, I encourage you to check it out. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel, and be sure to swish that like button if you like what you see, and drop a comment. I'd love to read your comment, and I do respond to all of my comments. So let me show you how I use my hi-hat in kind of more musical ways in a jazz swing context. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, my hi-hat is this kind of opportunity to really be more of a voice instead of just a timekeeper. So the traditional way for us to play is just to kind of keep that hi-hat going on 2 and 4. So we would just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, straight ahead. And that certainly works great. And there's, I will have to say that probably, 80% of the musical contexts in which I perform require that I do that. But when it comes time to really, there's a few players I can play with here in Japan that I can be free, because their sense of time is very, very strong. So I don't have to worry so much about playing that 2 and 4. And in that case, it gets really fun, because then it just becomes this kind of another voice, another opportunity to express something. And if you think about the drum set, we have 4 limbs, and at any one given time we have 4 opportunities, right? 4 voices, if you will. And if this is always just ticking away on 2 and 4, it's almost like you're losing that voice in a way, to me. So it's nice to be able to recapture that. It's nice to be able to utilize the hi-hat in that way, in a way that is just allows it to be kind of accentuate the music. One really great drummer, one of my all-time favorite drummers, is the great DeJohnette. And his work with, actually with everybody, but especially if you listen to his standards albums with Keith Jarrett on piano and Gary Peacock on bass, you'll hear that he really doesn't use the hi-hat as like a timekeeper. He uses it really as a distinct voice in the context of the music. And that's just such a really, I think, a modern way of thinking about drumming. And I think one of the things that we get stuck in as drummers, and you know this, being a drummer, is everybody kind of depends on us for the time, right? And so we end up playing, beats in a way to kind of be the glue to keep everybody together. So it's nice when we don't have to do that. It's nice when we can really explore just kind of doing interesting things with our limbs. And hi-hat is certainly one of those things that you can use to really express more your ideas, complete your phrasing. Now let me give you some ideas about what you can do, how you can incorporate your hi-hat. One of the things that's really common that I like to do a lot is, if you're just thinking like, we're just going to stay in a jazz context, and if you're thinking about think like, you know, continuous triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I've talked about this in other videos. I'll put the link below to my most important accent in jazz video. But that third note of the triplet is the most important accent in jazz, and that bum bum bop bum bum bop bum bum bop bum bum bop. So we want to be really aware of and always feel that accent. It's nice actually if we can add the hi-hat there. So for instance, if we're doing a fill, and maybe we can play the hi-hat on those upbeats, on those accents. Let me show you what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just a little example of how you can kind of incorporate that upbeat thing with the hi-hat. And start off slow and just see what you can do. Play your groove, and you know, you can also, the nice thing too is you can also mix it together. So you can play regular time on 2 and 4, and then add those hi-hat notes, those extra hi-hat kind of coloring, if you will, you know, to where you feel appropriate, and then you can return back to the 2 and 4. That also works really good, and I'll give you an example of that. 1, 2, 3. So just another example of how you can insert this upbeat kind of feeling into your playing, and you don't have to completely abandon the 2 and 4. And I would encourage you to start here, and as you get comfortable with that, just think about phrasing in your head. Don't think so much about exactly where it is in time, and maybe try to just think about an overall phrasing, like you're trying to put pieces together like you're building something with Legos. Like this kind of thing, right? I mean, that's kind of the way I think when I play. Right? That's always how I'm thinking. I'm not thinking like, you know, is it what count is it on and all that. If you've got to work on the coordination, well, you may have to do that in the beginning. But the goal is for us to really be making music and really using this as a beautiful voice, and kind of accentuating everything else we're doing on the drums. Just a couple more things I want to share with you. I have a blog that I've been writing for about 1.5 years, and just put up another blog post a couple days ago, and it's over at vonbaronmusic.com, and it's a blog that's written expressly for drummers like you. I also have online Zoom drum lessons, and you can sign up for those at vonbaronstore.com. You can also get some drumless tracks over there at the store, and to work on your jazz playing and prepare for your gigs. And I've also got my Brushes Mastery course, as I mentioned before, at jazzdrumschool.com. So thanks so much for watching, and as I always say, keep on drumming. Take care.
drummingforlife.com